Well, I'll look back this way. I'm not sure how well you can pick up the trail there. Deer have been along here a lot, probably no humans to much of an extent for a while, but another sign of human activity is right here. We've got a nice needly jaggered barberry. It's not a native barberry, which is almost, well, I think it might be extirpated and wasn't originally considered to be around this part of the state anyway. And the remainder of a leaf there. But yeah, probably from an old homestead somewhere nearby. I don't see anything, but you'll be surprised how many times you go wandering off the trail and you find a house foundation. Sometimes I've even found cars just off in the woods somewhere. Yeah, you know, it's fairly rocky, and sometimes in spring you'll be going along and just find daffodils or daylilies out in the middle of nowhere. Trees are usually a little bit easier to find, but been a lot of supposedly remote places. There's another barberry, although birds do distribute barberry around, so doesn't necessarily mean there was a house here. But I'm hitting them, and I seem to be towards the end of this road. I'd say probably on the uphill side somebody had a dwelling at one time, or maybe a little bit farther out that way. Trail's becoming a lot less discernible going this way. It was a pretty well defined trail over there, so that's another reason why I'm thinking if there was something at the end of the trail or driveway or whatever the hell it was, it's probably close. Let you know if I find anything else interesting here. Try to zoom in on the woodpecker there. And he flew away. Interesting tree growing on a rock here, and I believe that's a cherry birch. And he's coming down, and he's got his root going down the side there and hitting the real soil. Birch tend to do that a decent amount. A little higher up, the birch you find are tending to be cherry birch more than the yellow birch likes it a little bit lower. Something growing on this. I'll walk up here. Try to keep the camera on and not kill myself. Ooh. Some nice club moss there. Something tells me that's what this is too. Yeah. Just nice little pile of club. Oh, there's more off to the side too. Some over here on this stump. All kinds of moss on him. I just heard a critter. But yeah, it's a really nice mass of that club moss there. A bunch of it. Oh, low flying private plane there. Big hemlock. A whole bunch of that club moss going off to that side. But yeah, I'm up off the trail a little bit, looking around to see what I can see. Don't want to go too far off the trail because it will get dark eventually here. Not that it'll be that hard to find my way out, but don't want to be lost in the woods at night. Usually pretty well prepared, but still. It's a nice, it's like a fungus that causes these growths on these trees. It's all covered with moss there. And get this guy here. Otherwise looks alive, but I'm guessing he's dead because he's got all the little bracket fungus on him. Wander on. I'll turn the camera on again if I find anything else. Battery's getting low. Got a spare this time, though. Just another really neat rock full of moss. Got the Clubmoss. A couple other different kinds of moss growing here. When I first walked towards that first one, oh, and there's a little baby hemlock. Or no, that's one of those. I was just looking at it funny. But yeah, first saw it from a distance. I actually thought maybe it was canadensis growing on it because they grow kind of low and on top of rocks sometimes. But just like, I've never seen this much of that type of Clubmoss before. So, stop before the battery dies. Yeah, like I was saying a minute ago, this trailing Clubmoss here, all over these rocks. I just don't think I've ever seen this much of it in any one place before in my life. I mean, it's everywhere. It's over there. It's up around there. There's the stuff I just walked through. Just a huge amount of it. It's in among the trees and everything. It's a huge patch of it here. And let's see if I see anything else in the general area and then go back to the main trail. Sun's still kind of high, but I know that it'll go down around 6 and it's already after 5, so I'll be out in the middle of a big pile of woods that I can't see my way around and fumbling over all these rocks. A lot of ankle breakers here. See a little gash there in that tree. It's enough to let little critters get up inside. Yeah, most of these trees are really young, but there's some fairly decent sized ones here. That's some sort of oak, and it's a pretty damn tall cherry there. Not as thick as some of them other ones, but you might go 100 feet to the tippy top of the very highest branches. Not much mass to them, but he definitely was fighting to get to the light. He don't even have a branch until probably 40 or 50 feet up. It's hard to estimate the height of them from the bottom. They look huge as hell, but they might only go another 20 feet. You can't get perspective on the finer branches at the top. But he does look big from this angle at any rate. And again, looking down that way, trees are like 60, 70 feet tall, so he might not be that big. Okay, from back here with more perspective on him, he is at least 6 to 10 feet uphill from me, but still, he does look quite a bit taller than the guys around him. Probably not quite 100, maybe like 75, 80. It's a big tree at any rate. Nice tall one. There's some more decently tall ones going back that way. More of a mix in age going this way. This hasn't been logged as recently. A lot of the stuff I walked through coming up, in fact, just look that way. I mean, it just looks like a bunch of little matchsticks compared to the stuff I'm standing in, so. Well, move on and see what else I can find. Well, I'm seeing more of the barberry. There's some here, some there. This looks dug out by people. That looks leveled off. Looks like more barberry in the distance. And I just flipped out this piece of metal here, which I'm not 100% sure what it is. It might be part of a fender to something, but Also looks a little bit like it might be part of a lawnmower deck. Not really sure, but yeah, obviously signs of human activity around here. So see if I find anything else. You can see the way this guy's roots are growing here. I'm pretty sure that's a maple, but my guess would be that right where that hollow is, at one point in time there was a log, and that nice mossy log had a tree start growing on it, and the tree's still there and growing, and the log is long gone. Happens a lot. Find them all the time. Unfortunately, while I'm looking for them, I have a hard time finding them. This tree's kind of hollow at the bottom. He's got another hollow farther up there, but probably a good place for bats and other things to live. So that's a reason why, unless it's going to fall down on somebody's house or car, really ought to leave the standing dead wood and snags. You know, it provides a lot of habitat for a lot of things that are having a hard time. There's another one farther back there, kind of broken off. But I don't really see a hollow in him. He just looks broken. And the bottom of him's over there, but it's what a lot of your birds and your bats and flying squirrels and a whole bunch of other things need. It's coming back to this because I don't think I've actually pointed any of these out. This vine with the real shreddy bark, not sure the exact species, but this is going to be a grapevine of some sort. And you know, a little less shreddy as it gets to the younger stuff. Trying to find a tendril. Here's a you can kind of see it's got these little tendrils that it wraps around stuff. You only see it on the younger part, but they don't have the little hairs or roots that dig into bark. They have these little wiry things. Now that one's broken off there, but it goes way the hell up that tree. Those little wiry things, they wrap around stuff as they grow. So that's what a grapevine looks like. There's another one a little farther down the trail. It's a shreddy bark on the big part of it, but here's one of the smaller parts of it, and like that right there. See the tendril hanging out there. Those things will come out and wrap around branches. Another one right down here next to where I'm holding this. This right here is another tendril. They just come out and they wrap around stuff. They just keep on sending them out as they go up. Not sure what species this is. This one seems to have ones that split, which is unusual. Usually they're just singular, and they'll wrap around branches, and that's how they climb up the trees here. Just pointing it out. I'm only a little bit down the trail. Here's one that's got tendrils that are more singular, like I'm used to seeing. No, that one's split there. Maybe it is the same. But yeah, you can see, haven't gone very far and the sun's going down already. I'm just back to the mangy looking hemlock.